As Rita's relatives tried to console her, Joe's spirit screamed again, "Mom, I'm here. I'm sorry," but his voice was drowned out by the sound of Rita's wailing and the sight of his own lifeless body being carried away. He felt like he was losing his grip on reality, trapped in a world where no one could see or hear him. Joe's spirit followed the mournful procession, feeling helpless and alone. He saw his relatives, his friends, and his community come together to mourn his passing, but he couldn't join them. He tried to touch them, to speak to them, but they couldn't see or hear him. It was like he was invisible, a ghost hovering on the edges of their lives. As they reached the burial site, Joe's spirit felt a sense of desperation wash over him. He saw his body being lowered to the ground, and he knew he had to do something. He lay down on top of his body, trying to will himself back to life, but it was no use. He couldn't wake up, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Frustrated and defeated, Joe's spirit stood up and ran to the back of his mother's house, trying to escape the pain and the grief. But it followed him, haunting him like a shadow. He ran to the front of the house, trying to console his mother, but she couldn't see or hear him. With a cry of despair, Joe's spirit ran to the side of the compound, tears streaming down his face. He felt like he was losing himself, like he was disappearing into nothingness. And then, just as he thought he couldn't take it anymore, he felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned to see a figure of a tall man in white, smiling at him with kind eyes. "Joe," the man said, his voice gentle and soothing. "Come with me." Joe's spirit stood up, wiping away his tears. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice shaking. "Can you see me?" The man nodded. "I can see you, Joe, and I'm here to help you." With a sense of hope that he hadn't felt in hours, Joe's spirit followed the man to a place where there was a green field stretching out as far as the eye could see. It was a place of peace and tranquility, a place where Joe's spirit could finally find peace. Joe asked the man, "Who are you, and how come you can see me?" The man replied, "I am a spirit, just like you. And I'm here to help you because you're restless and trapped between two worlds." "Why am I trapped?" Joe asked, feeling a sense of desperation. "You made promises to your mother that you need to fulfill," the man explained. "But you can't do that because you're dead." Joe felt a pang of sadness. "How can I fulfill my promises when I'm dead? My mom sacrificed so much for me, and now I'm hurt and helpless." The tall man in white looked at Joe with kind eyes. "I will give you 10 years to fulfill your mother's promises. But on one condition: if anyone who knows that you are dead sees you, then you will return to the spirit world and your time will be up." Joe had no other choice, so he agreed to the plan. "Thank you," he said, feeling a sense of hope. The tall man warned him, "Remember, Joe, you must be careful. Don't snap any photos, don't be in any videos, and don't look in any mirrors. And if anyone who knows you're dead sees you, you won't stay up to the 10 years. So you need to protect yourself and keep your existence a secret. Also, Joe," the man added, "you need to fulfill your mother's promises from a distance. You can't interact with her directly. You must find ways to help her and keep your promises without revealing yourself to her or anyone else who knows you're dead." With that, the tall man in white gave Joe's spirit the same powers as a human. Joe felt a surge of energy and strength flow through him. Immediately, a heavy force sent him falling away, and he landed in the country where he had gained employment. Joe's spirit stood up, looking around in awe. He had 10 years to fulfill his promises to his mother, and he was determined to make the most of it. He would work from the shadows, keeping his existence a secret, and find ways to help his mother from afar.